Hello everyone and welcome to series 2 of the blog. Sorry it's taken us a while to do it, but we finally got around to it. My name is James, for those of you that don't know, and I'm one of the creators of this group. It was decided for this series that we would record an audio blog in which myself and Caroline, the co-creator, have a conversation about disability issues, the kinds of things that piss us off and wind us up. So I hope you find it both informative and maybe a little funny in bits too. Who knows? But without further ado, I won't bore you with the details. Here's part 1. Hi guys, it's James and I'm here with the co-creator, Caroline, and we're doing a question and answer blog about a little bit of everything really. About all the things that piss us off regarding public transport and the public. Yeah, that's a good one in general. Yeah, buggies, and all kinds of stuff. So we're just gonna wing it and go for it and see how it goes.
Have you got an hour or two to spare? Because it's probably going to take that long.
Well, that's all right. I can edit it all out. You see.
Talk about the viewers, not you.
Oh. Tell me about a recent experience you had on your local high street.
Funny enough, that was today. Went down the high street with you, in fact. Went into a few shops, which ironically was quite easy to get around. Then we went to Iceland, didn't we?
Yeah.
And we had some very go-lightlies just stare at us outside because we were trying to put the bags on each other's wheelchair. They couldn't help but stare away, but did they offer any help? Oh no, just have a good old gawp. Like we ain't freakish enough as it is, put us on a flipping pedestal, hey? That was my recent experience. Then they had the cheek to walk across the high street and belch so loudly they could be heard half a mile down the road. No pardon me, no nothing. Don't know what's happened to manners these days.
I think the last experience I had was a couple of days ago. Always happens to me. I'm on the bus and it stops coming up, so I press the bell, you know, that blue bell that they've got, the disability bell thing. I'm pressing the bell and I call out to the driver so that I make sure he hears me. Stops at the bus stop and then lets everyone off, because that's what they're supposed to do, let everyone off first and then close the doors and put the ramp out. But he doesn't. He just drives off. And then says to me, when I call out to him and say, "Excuse me, can I have the ramp?" He says to me, "Oh, you should have rang the bell." And I'm like, "I did. I rang it twice and called out to you." So it's like, you know, and then under my breath I said, but, you know, but that's what I...
the standard of living today. Nobody cared. Just poodle on down the road, let the passengers off. Don't worry if you've got someone in a wheelchair that wants to get off and live their life like every other passenger. Oh no, they're irrelevant. I'm sick and tired of the H20 ramps not bloody working, because they turn around and say, "Oh, the ramp ain't working." Well, then you shouldn't be in service. If it's not 100% operational, it's not allowed on the road. They would lose their tender for that route. But you see, the problem is we can sit and moan all we want, but until you get a decent group of people that are willing to make a stand and say, "We're not accepting this treatment," nothing gets done because it's only one passenger.
As you say, we can sit here and moan, but at the end of the day, we're not comfortable or not confident enough to say something to anybody. So
I am. But I'm just one solitary person, so what difference would that make to the bus company? It's just one complainer.
Well, all you get
I have nothing better to do but to complain, because I'm disabled, I have no life. So I want to sit and complain. So doing it on my own, that's why I don't complain. Because
it won't get you anywhere, or
because it won't get me anywhere. It won't change things. It won't make the drivers more conscientious before they take their buses out. Will it? One solitary complaint. They have to get over so many, however many their quota says, of complaints before anything will get done.
I mean, at the end of the day, all you get is a standard letter to say, "I'm sorry that you blah, blah, blah."
You get that much. I don't even get that much. I get, oh, sorry, we'll look into it, and then that's it, no more.
I mean, it's like, I think it was the H20 bus. There's this one particular driver who I'm convinced has got a problem with me, because I've seen him several times, and every time I see him or he sees me, he turns around without even blinking, and without even a by or leave, and says the ramp's not working.
Yep. But what they seem to forget is that it has a manual override. All he's got to do is get out of his cab, grab the handle, and pull the ramp up, because it's a flip ramp. It's not an automatic mechanical one that slides out the bottom of the bus.
And even then, I mean, even if it was a manual one that comes out automatically of the bus, you can still override it. Yeah.
It's not as easy as it is in the H20 though.
No.
The H20 is well easy. You just get out of the cab, grab the handle, and lift it. I mean, I'm sorry, is that too much to ask? Because I need to go and do my weekly shop. See, we're a burden. We're still second-class citizens. It's like the other day I wanted to get on the H20, but there was a buggy. Now, excuse me, maybe I'm going a bit blind in the old age. On the bus, does it or does it not say, buggies may use this space, but if a wheelchair needs this space, buggies must be folded? Or words to that effect. Does it or does it not say that?
It does, yeah.
So why then does the driver get the ramp out for me, and I'm the one that turns around and says, is there room for me because you've got a buggy on there? Oh, can you move the buggy over a little bit? Yeah, there is room for a buggy and a wheelchair in that little space, isn't there? Oh, no, sorry, no room. I'm like, do you know what? I really couldn't be bothered to argue with him, so I said nothing. I said, don't worry, I'll get the next one. But he drove off, and I thought I should have opened my mouth and said, well, actually, if you read the sign, the buggy's supposed to be folded because it's needed by a wheelchair. Could you please ask her to fold the buggy down? But my fear is then getting on the bus and everybody looking at me and tutting. Tut, 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 look what she made that poor mother do. So I let the bus go. And what happened? Another H20 comes along, and it's Mr. Jobsworth driver. I hate him with a passion. He is so arrogant, and he's rude to all passengers.
Yeah, I've had him as well, yeah.
Yeah, because I'm not sitting the correct way or the correct position, I need more practice. Excuse me? I've been in this wheelchair 10 years. How much bloody practice do you think I need?
Yeah.
Not a solitary driver on any other bus, including the H20, do they ever moan or complain about the way I park my chair on the bus. You know? But he does all the time. And because it was an older bus, and the space was somewhat bigger, I was actually able to get into the area properly. But because I was facing forward and not backwards, he turns around very condescendingly and says, now you know you're not sitting correctly, don't you? And I said, yeah, and he said, you know how you're supposed to sit. And I said, well, there's not enough room on the bus to be able to do a 190 degree turn, so I'm facing backwards, and then manoeuvre into the space to get in backwards. Oh, well, with a little bit more practice, you'll do it. So I refuse to get on his bus now. Why should a passenger be made feel that way? How dare he speak to me like that?
Yeah. I mean, I had a lady, I think it was on the 281.
God, you do get about it.
I do get about it, yeah.
I'm terrified of buses.
Oh, I don't care. It's what I have to do to get where I want to be. So, you know what I mean?
I understand that, but some of the ramps are so steep, I'm scared of falling out of my chair.
Yeah.
Because either the curb's too low, or they don't lower the bus, or whatever. So I won't go on a bus apart from the H20 on my own. The 281, when I want to get to the local high street, I'm kind of confident on that now because I know the stops that I get on and off. The curb's quite high, so it is quite a level ramp. There's a hardly, a slope whatsoever. But anything else, I won't go on my own. I'm too frightened.
But yeah, I was on the 281 one night, and the driver actually said, it was a woman driver. She turned around to me and said, "Can I ask you a question?" And I went, "Yeah, of course you can." And she said, "Why is it that a lot of disabled people park themselves in the position where, because technically you're supposed to back yourself in and apply the brakes.
Yep.
But I go in
And face forward.
and face forward.
Yeah.
And she said to me, why do people do that? And I said, well, at the end of the day, a simple answer is, we like to see where we're going, not where we've been. Fair enough, they have their rules and regulations and stuff, but at the end of the day, if that's how someone feels comfortable, surely it's about time that bus companies took note of that and maybe swap things around a bit.
Oh, that's too much money for them. They wouldn't do that. I mean, it's like the single decker buses. The wheelchair space they've got on that is ridiculous. The space is not. If you're in an electric wheelchair like I am, you have to physically manoeuvre. If you're in a manual chair and you've got someone with you, they can grab the back of your chair and lift and swing you into place.
Yeah.
You can't do that in an electric chair. But they don't take that into consideration when they build these stupid spaces. And on top of all of that, you've got this great big rail right down the middle. So that makes it even tighter again to get in. But like I said, this Jobsworth driver, it doesn't bother him in the slightest. I just need a bit more practice. So I felt like getting out of my chair, sitting on one of the seats and saying, right, go on then, you do it. Now who needs the practice?
Mm-hmm.
Like life isn't hard enough without being made to sit in a poxy little box hole a particular way. So I'm facing forward, and I'm in the space, not sticking out like I normally do because you won't let me. And they're not laws, they are guidelines. So it is down to the wheelchair user how they would prefer to sit. If you're injured, then you've waived all rights to any kind of compensation or anything because you have not sat how they advise you to sit. End of. At owner's risk.